one simple question. Do you think cryptocurrency is the way of the future?
Yes.
Yes.
I see it.
So I believe that cryptocurrency is the way of the future. I believe most of you here believe that cryptocurrency is a way of the future. But if you're sitting there tonight and you're like, I don't know about this crypto thing. If it's not tangible, if I can't hold it, it's not real, Mitchell. There's always someone in the crowd that thinks that way. And that's okay. But I want to play something for you before you make a decision tonight.
This afternoon, we take a giant step to cement American dominance of global finance and crypto technology as we sign the landmark Genius Act. I pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins.
This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. We have a deal maker in chief, and it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump.
So today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
You may have recognized that voice. Yeah. Look, it's not a political statement, guys. Whether you like him or love him, cryptocurrency is not just part of the future. It's here. It's happening right now. That law that President Trump wrote into effect, called the Genius Act, was written into effect several months ago, right? Working towards making America the crypto capital of the world. So a little bit about me. This was never on my bucket list, right? I never in a million years thought I'd be standing in front of a bunch of people talking and teaching about crypto. Never saw it coming. I was a cop for 13 years. My last couple of years I worked undercover narcotics and robberies. I got out of law enforcement December of 2017, and me and my family, we opened up a private security firm. We still own and operate that security firm today here in Ocala called Intact Security. And that's my bread and butter, law enforcement and security. But I've always loved cryptocurrency. I love the blockchain technology. When you get to know what the blockchain technology is all about, you'll understand that it is a much needed technology in today's world. And I've always been intrigued by it. Now, I've made some money in crypto. I've lost some money in crypto. But there's so many people that I know, that know me well, know that I love crypto, that I hear about it all the time. Every time a new coin comes out, every time a new project launches, I hear about it within 15 minutes. Mitchell, what do you think about this coin? What do you think about this project? Mitchell, what coin should I buy next? So I'm getting those phone calls all the time, and that's exactly what happened to me in February of this year. I get a call from the least crypto person ever, my uncle, and he says, Mitchell, what do you think of Texit? And my response to him is, what the heck is a Texit? I don't know what you're talking about. He said, it's a cryptocurrency. I said, well, I'm going to have to do some research and get back to you because I've never heard of this crypto before. He said, well, while I have you on the phone, let me tell you a little bit about it. He said, you remember back when when Biden was president and Texas was talking about seceding? Anybody remember that? He said, during that time, there was a man named Bobby Gray. And Bobby Gray created a cryptocurrency called Texit. And the idea behind Texit is if and when Texas ever secedes from the Union, it's going to become Texas's currency. You know my thought, what I told my uncle? I said, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Not interested. Why? Well, you see, cryptocurrency, you might have heard the term utility. Cryptocurrency is tied to a utility or a purpose. And if that utility, if that purpose never comes to fruition, typically the coin never goes up in value. Now, there may be people in here tonight that disagree with me, but my personal opinion is I think the odds of Texas seceding in my lifetime are pretty slim. right? It may happen, but I'm not willing to wager my money on that, right? So I told my uncle, I don't think Texas is going to succeed, and if Texas never succeeds, and that's the entire purpose of this crypto, I don't think it's a good buy. So I said, not interested. You see, when my uncle called me, just hours before he called me, Texit coin hit an all-time high of 16 cents. And I thought, that thing's coming back down. Right? There's no way it's staying that high. So I pass and I say, no, not interested. Best of luck. I don't think it's a good buy. And about 5 days go by, and I'm logged into a crypto exchange, and I'm buying some crypto, moving some crypto around, and I think about this Texit coin. And, maybe this makes me a jerk, but I thought to myself, I'm going to pull this Texit coin up. I'm going to take a photo showing that it crashed, and I'm going to send it to my uncle and say, I told you so. Because I know everything, right? But the exact opposite happened. When I pulled it up, it wasn't at 16 cents, and it certainly didn't go down. It was at 21 cents. And it blew my mind, because let me tell you, 16 to 21 cents may not sound like a big deal to you, but two things here. If you had tens of thousands of coins, 16 to 21 cents, you can do the math on that, that's a very serious payday. Yeah. You would wake up very happy, I promise. And a lot of you have experienced that with Texit coin. Another thing, from 16 to 21 cents, it was enough to catch my attention and make me think, Mitchell, you need to humble yourself, not act like you know everything, and do your own research. So I went to a website called coinmarketcap.com. If you're not familiar with that website, or if you've never been to it, jot it down, put it in your notes on your phone. Coinmarketcap.com is not tied to Texit whatsoever. It's not tied to any specific crypto. It's been around for years and years and years before Texit coin was ever even thought of. And it's a website that I've been going to since about 2012 to look at different kinds of cryptos. So I go to this website and I type in Texit to pull up Texit coin. Now the first thing I noticed wasn't the price, it wasn't the chart, it wasn't any of the other mumble jumble on there. It was the top right hand corner when you're on desktop. It's a bullish bearish chart. Now, if you're not familiar with that terminology, bullish means people want more of it, and bearish meaning people want to get rid of it. And when I pull up Texit coin, I see that we were really close to around 99% bullish. Now that blew my mind. 99% bullish on a coin I've never heard of? How does that make sense? So what we call that a signal of a coin that's going to go up in value. Right? Because everything in life that you value that has monetary worth is based on supply and demand. Gold is $4,200 an ounce. $4,200 an ounce? $4,300 an ounce. Why? Because the supply is here and the demand is here. Lime rock, on the other hand, I have no idea how much that is an ounce, but it's significantly less, right? Because the supply is very high and the demand isn't high enough to meet it. So the price stays low. So everything in life we value is based on supply and demand. So when you see something that has a 99% bullish rating, it's a good sign that it's going to go up. Who here has ever heard of Bitcoin? Right? Yeah. You may know nothing about cryptocurrency, but you've heard that word, Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin is, anyone who know the price of Bitcoin today? $110,000 per coin. It launched at less than 1 penny. $5 would have made you very, very wealthy. Right? So I think if we took a poll here and I said, who here would love to have more Bitcoin? I think we'd probably be at close to 100% bullish, right? But to show you how powerful that was when I saw that for Texit coin, if you go to coinmarketcap.com and you type in BTC to look up Bitcoin, you'll see that Bitcoin typically runs around 84.4% bullish. 82% bullish, right? So when I saw a coin at 99, it blew my mind. The second thing I wanted to check into was the chart. We would all love to invest into a cryptocurrency at 3 cents, go to sleep and wake up and it'd be at $30. Right? Make a lot of money. But it's not sustainable. It's not practical. If a coin shoots up that fast, any cryptocurrency, 99% chance it's going to come down that fast. If you don't sell, you're going to lose your money. And that's what we call in the crypto space a rug pull. So when I pulled up Texit coin, what I saw was nice, natural, healthy, steady growth. Now it's aggressive growth. We're growing very rapidly, and that demand is increasing very rapidly, and when that happens, you have very strong growth. But it was natural, steady, healthy growth. Nothing erratic, nothing crazy. The third thing I wanted to check into was liquidity. Now, guys, what I'm sharing with you today doesn't necessarily have to do with anything involved with Texit coin other than Texit coins and crypto. The information I'm giving you right now is valid for any cryptocurrency. These are three of the things that I look into before purchasing crypto. So the third thing I wanted to look into was liquidity. What is liquidity? Liquidity gives you the ability to sell your crypto. If I have 5 coins and they're all worth $1 billion each, but I could never sell them,
You don't got 5 billion?
are they truly worth anything?
No.
No. Which would be very frustrating to look at it, right? So liquidity, crypto markets never close, not like the stock market. You can 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday, you could go in and you can buy, sell, and exchange crypto. But if that crypto does not have any liquidity,
Sirloin medium.
you can't sell it unless there's a buyer there ready for it. So anytime you purchase crypto, you want to make sure it has liquidity. When I look into this Texit coin, this crypto I've never heard of, come to find out that there's millions of dollars backing this Texit coin in liquidity. Specifically $1 million in Bitcoin, $1 million in Ethereum, $1 million in USDC, and just over $1 million in precious metals. Now I never saw that coming. So Texit coin was checking off all the boxes that I look at before buying a crypto. Now, I told you I was a cop for 13 years. That typically makes me probably more skeptical than I should be when it comes to people, right? And I thought, the coin looks great. I never imagined that. I have overcome my skepticism of the crypto, of Texit coin. But what about this Bobby Gray guy? Right? He could look a little shady. I said, never trust a man in a suit. That's why I don't wear one. I'm totally kidding. So I said, the crypto looks great, but what about Bobby? Does he have some kind of dark past? Is he a con artist, a scammer? What is it? I need to know everything about this guy. And looking back in hindsight, it's a little stalkerish, but by the time I got done, I had his house pulled up on Google Earth. I knew where he lived. I knew his wife's name, his kid's name. I knew everything you could about Bobby Gray. And as I'm digging into him, I come across this YouTube video of this guy named Robert Gray testifying in front of Congress, in front of one of my heroes, Ron Paul. And come to find out, it's the same guy. And I called my uncle up and I said, I had to eat the humble pie. And I said, I may have made a mistake. This looks a lot better than I ever imagined. I like the crypto, and I like the leadership behind the crypto, and I like the circles that he's running in. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and get involved with Texit coin. So I start mining Texit coin. Now what does that mean? Texit coin can only be mined in Texas. I'm willing to bet most everybody here does not live in Texas, right? So how can you get involved? Well, when you get involved with Texit coin, the mining operation is already in Texas. What you're doing is you're purchasing hash power from the mine. So the way we judge how powerful an engine is, one of many ways, I guess, is the horsepower, right? How much horsepower does an engine have? Well, the way we judge how powerful a mining rig is what produces this crypto, is by how much hash power it has. That kind of gives you an idea of how we judge mining rigs. So when you purchase a miner through Texit coin, you're purchasing a percentage. You're purchasing 100 hash power from that mining rig. Whatever that 100 hash power produces is yours. So I get involved with Texit coin and I'm starting to mine this crypto. Now I mine it for 27 days and I tell nobody. My wife doesn't know that I'm mining Texit coin. Nobody knows I'm mining this Texit coin. And for 27 days, it never fails. 7 days a week between 8 and 9 p.m., the crypto hit my account. It gets produced from the mining rig in McKinney, Texas. And then it gets digitally transferred to my crypto wallet, just like you would send a bank wire. And it never fails, 7 days a week. Now, as soon as that crypto hits my account, what am I doing? I'm selling it. I'm transferring it. I'm exchanging it for other crypto. I'm moving it around. I'm trying to break the system. And for 27 days, it never fails. On that 27th day, we had gone from 21 cents to right around 36, 37 cents. And it was a Tuesday. The only reason I remember it was a Tuesday is because I found out that day that Bobby Gray does these update Zooms where if you're in the community and you're already mining Texit, you can jump in on these Zoom calls and he'll give you updates on how we're doing how we're growing as a community, different projects Texit is getting involved in, different things that we're sponsoring. So I jump in the Zoom for the very first time, and these Zooms go a long time because Bobby made a deal that when he started Texit Coin, he will never get off a Zoom until every single question is answered, which I respect a lot. And so sometimes it lasts an hour and 45 minutes. And I can only tell you one sentence the guy said in an entire time. Because as soon as I heard this, I shut down. I heard Bobby say, guys, we are on track to blow past our goal of $16 per coin come February of next year. Now, at the time, I was currently earning about 15 to 20 coins a night. So I get my phone out and I start doing some math. 15 to 20 coins a night, 340 nights till February, times $16. And I completely shut down. Because that number was pretty awesome. And I thought to myself, out of pure self-preservation, if I don't share this with my mom and my brothers, they're going to kill me. Right? If this works the way I think it's going to work, the way it is currently working, and I don't tell them, they're not going to be very happy with me. But if I tell them, and they say, not interested, then they can't be mad at me in February, right? So, at this point, I want to make it very clear, everything you know about Texit is all I knew. That's it. I didn't know anything else about Texit Coin. My uncle called me, I looked into it, I did some research on Bobby, I got it. That's all I knew. So, completely organically, I'm not trying to convince anyone or sell anyone, I could care less if they do it or not. I share it with my mom, my brothers, my neighbor, my barber, and a good friend of mine. Those other three guys that I shared it with are just guys that I talk about crypto with all the time. Something incredible happened. See, I was currently earning around 15 to 20 coins a night. Shared it with a handful of people, and I get ready to go to bed one night, and I can't even begin to explain to you how addicting it is checking your crypto wallet go up every night. So if it's on your nightstand and you're about to fall asleep and you forgot to check it, you'll be doing the little pull down thing to refresh it real fast. So I'm laying in bed and I didn't check my wallet. So I grabbed my phone and I pulled down to refresh 67 coins in one night. Now, I get out of bed, I call my uncle and I say, hey, did your miner just put out more crypto than normal? He said, no, why? I told him what happened. He said, well, yeah, for every 3 people you share it with, they reward you by giving you 2 more free miners. I had no idea. See, I got involved with Texit Coin to mine crypto because I believe it's the way of the future. And now, not only am I mining it, but I have a way to mine more of it. Pretty exciting stuff. So, I started doing some math. 67 coins a night, 330 nights till February, times $16. And I was wide awake. Because the number just got a whole lot bigger. And I go from wanting to just mine Texit quietly, didn't care to share it with a whole lot of people, to wanting to get on the roof and scream at my neighbors, right? And I would have been completely happy with that, completely content. But 2 days later, something incredible happened. I got a call from a lady named Kobe Horton. She says, Mr. Tucker, I see you earned commissions, but you never shared with us how you want to be paid. How would you like to be paid? I thought she was talking about my crypto. And I said, Ms. Horton, I've been in Texit Coin for over 30 days now. I'm already getting my crypto, been getting it every night for over 30 days. And she said, no, I'm not talking about your crypto. We're also going to compensate you for sharing it with other people. I had no clue. So I gave her all my information, once again kind of skeptical, and a few $1,000s hit my bank account, hit my crypto account. Well, since that very first week of running my mouth, I've not made less than $3,000 a week in cash. And my miners are currently producing around $6,500 a month completely passively while I sleep. Now I left you around 37 cents. What's the price of Texit Coin today?
$4.01.
All right, so I left you at 37 cents. We're sitting around $4 today. I told you what I was told the utility of the coin was if Texas secedes, it's going to become Texas's currency. Then why did it go from 16 cents when I first looked at it to $4? If that's the utility of Texit coin, well, why was crypto invented? If you were to ask me, or I think any crypto enthusiast, why crypto was invented, I think you would get a similar answer. In my opinion, crypto was invented for free money.
Yeah.
Now stay with me because I do not align with the idea of getting money for doing nothing. That's not what I'm referring to. I mean, it is the first time that we had money since our great-great ancestors were trading chunks of gold and silver that wasn't tied to the big three. Big government, big corporations, and big banks. It was truly free money. And I tell people, if you disagree with me, try to get on an airplane with $1 million in a duffel bag. You and your money is being separated, right? Not that you would ever want to, but try to send a random bank wire to a country like Iran right now with no explanation.
Not gonna happen.
Men in black suits are going to be knocking on your door, I promise you. However, I could get onto an airplane with $1 billion right here, and it's no one's business but mine, because it's free money. I could take that same $1 billion and I could send it around the world 4 times for 84 cents.
And nobody knows.
And it's nobody's business but mine. So cryptocurrency is truly free money for we the people. Now, what about Bitcoin? We already have that. We did. We had something absolutely incredible with Bitcoin. But the crypto bros kind of bowed down and gave it all back. What do I mean by that? Who here knows who the top owner of Bitcoin is, the number one holder? BlackRock. If you're not familiar with BlackRock, do some research, Google them. You probably will not align with them very well. The number 2 is big governments around the world. So we had something for we the people, and we bowed down and gave it all back. Back to BlackRock, back to big governments. So what's the difference with Texit coin? Well, we have created something that is planned. We're going to take that vision that Bitcoin had, and we're going to take it across the finish line. So Bobby Gray has set up hedges of protection to make sure that what happened to Bitcoin doesn't happen to Texit coin. To make sure that we fulfill the mission that Bitcoin started out. That's exactly why if you were to come today to Bobby and say, Bobby, I have $1 million I want to put into Texit coin. You know what his response will be?
No, thank you.
I'll take $27,000. You keep the rest. Why? Because we don't want to have any big fish in there,
Amen.
any big whales to have a bulk of the majority. Right? We want to keep Texit coin for we the people.
Yes.
Now, before I go any further, we dive into anything else, I want to open it up for questions. Does anyone have any questions? We have a pretty big group here, so I know there's got to be some questions. Who's going to be the brave one? All right, go ahead.
So this has got nothing to do with any kind of pyramid scheme or anything?
So he was asking, this don't have anything to do with any pyramid scheme or anything. So, Texit coin has set up an affiliate marketing model. Who here is familiar with affiliate marketing? Okay, now I'm going to blow your mind. Amazon.com, Walmart.com, SamsClub.com,
I'm on it.
any major retailer online, anywhere where you shop online, if you scroll to the bottom of that website, you'll see a link at the very bottom that says become an affiliate.
Yep.
If you don't believe me, you can fact check me and I'll give you the mic and call me a liar. But I promise you it's there. If you scroll down to the bottom of that website and you click the link that says become an affiliate, it's going to ask you for some personal information. It's going to ask you for your name, your email address, phone number, different things like that. And then what it's going to give you, it's going to give you a special link. If you do it on Amazon, your link may be Amazon.com/Mitchell/John. And if you share that link with anybody and they click it, they will go to Amazon.com. They will not know the difference. But something incredible happens. If they go to Amazon.com and they purchase anything at all, you get a small percentage of whatever they purchase. Amazon thanks you by saying, hey, thank you for bringing us customers. Here's a small percentage for doing that. Texit coin has adopted the same approach. Why? Well, we have over 8 billboards in Ocala now. Who here has seen the billboards? We have over 8 billboards in Ocala. We have over 80 billboards in the state of Florida. We are advertising in Orlando International Airport, the Miami Airport, and as far as Texas goes, we're in Houston Airport, DFW Airport, Austin Airport, hundreds of billboards across the state. We sponsored F1 race cars, hot air balloon festivals, concerts, you name it, we've sponsored it. And we spend millions of dollars every single month in advertising. And you know what still outperforms millions of dollars in ad spend?
Word of mouth.
Wow.
People like me who can't shut up,
Yes.
right?
Full table.
This is what outperforms millions of dollars in ad spend. So the same reason why Amazon doesn't need me, right? They're a billion-dollar company. They don't need me. But cumulatively, word of mouth will outperform any kind of ad spend. So yes, Texit has adopted an affiliate marketing approach. So if you decide that you want to get involved in Texit, do you have to share it?
No.
Absolutely not. I've shared Texit with right around 64 people who have saw the vision and got involved and started mining Texit. And out of those 64 people, I would say maybe 7 of them have decided to share it with other people.
Really?
The other 50 so people are sitting back quietly and mining. Any other questions?
I got one.
Go
I
for
wanna
it.
know, what are they mining? I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I got it.
So when you hear the word mining, I mean, for me, the first thing that pops in my head is like a coal miner, right? Or someone mining for gold or something, right? It's kind of what most people think of when they think about mining crypto. But what is crypto mining? Well, mining is, a mining rig is basically a bunch of supercomputers, and they solve mathematical problems. And every time they solve these mathematical problems, it's called hitting a block in crypto terminology. When that happens, they release some crypto into the market. Why? Well, if you were to take all the crypto that was ever going to exist and you were to dump it into the market right now, what would happen?
Tank.
It would tank, right? Because the supply would be so much higher than the demand. I like this terminology. A can of Coke, you can buy it anywhere in the country for about $2, right? But if I was to take every can of Coke in the world off the market and there was only one can of Coke left, a really smart guy would put it on eBay and a really dumb guy would buy it for millions of dollars. Because everything's based on supply and demand. And with it being only one can of Coke in the entire world, it would sell for millions of dollars, I can guarantee it. Back to that whole supply and demand thing. If we were to release every Texit coin that was ever going to exist, 353.23 million, I believe, all that into the market right now, the supply would be too high, the demand could not match it, and the price of the coin would tank. This isn't special to Texit coin. Same thing would happen with Bitcoin. If you release all the Bitcoin that was ever going to exist into the market right now, it would drop the price. So what these mining rigs do, the purpose of them essentially is to maintain a good ratio to supply versus demand. So they're computers that solve mathematical problems, and every time they do, they trickle some coins into the market. Any other questions?
And how long does that go for?
So it's set to produce for about 135 to 136 years. Similar to Bitcoin's setup, from the time Bitcoin started mining crypto to the time it's completely done, it will take around 120 or so years. And that's the exciting thing about Texit Coin. When you decide to get involved in Texit Coin and you're mining Texit Coin, this isn't something you're just doing for yourself. You're purchasing an asset that's producing for you financially for the rest of your life, the rest of your kids' life, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. It's something you can pass on for many generations, which is super exciting. Any other questions? Go ahead.
A show of hands, how many people own Texas now?
Who here is involved in Texas? Awesome. Wow.
More than half.
It's pretty exciting. Is anybody unhappy with their Texas coin?
No.
Nope, if they are, I'll buy theirs.
Yeah.
No.
If you're unhappy, you should pick up your own bill too.
I have an amazing story. I have an amazing story.
Yeah.
And I bought 9, and I told Mandy, his wife, I said, I'm gonna buy the 9, Ellen Hartled, and I said, I'm gonna buy the 9 to get 2 free, but I'm not doing the business, right? Not doing that. That sounds like work, and I don't work. Well, I couldn't keep my mouth shut, because I was like, this is really cool. Well, next thing I know, I've shared it with the 3 people, and another 3 people, and another 3 people. And by buying the 9 mines, I got 2 free. sharing it with 3 people, I got 2, 4, 6 free. So now I have 17 minds making money for me every day. I've made $3,000 in commission in the last 37 days. I'm already scheduled for another 1,000 this coming up Wednesday. And I have made, my coins are sitting at $2,300 worth of coins, and as the price goes up, that value goes up. I've got one for my son. He's seeing it. He's excited. I'm telling you, this is easy. For somebody who didn't want to share it, I've got a table full. And it's not hard to help people live a better life by giving them something that is real and tangible and that they can see and that you can take it out of these Texit wallets. You can take it, you can spend it, you can do whatever you want. If you don't trust it, spend your money. I'm keeping mine where I know it's safe in a cold wallet, and it's growing. It's growing and it's growing. And as the coin price grows, those 573 coins that I have, by the way, I've got 573 coins in 36 days. And I have already gotten all that, the commission, bonuses, and I'm helping people with their finances. And that brings me so much joy because I'm sharing something that I feel really led. And if you know me, you know that I don't do anything unless I feel led to do it by my heart. I've jumped in without even researching. My heart said yes. My heart said 9. And I'm like, oh crap, okay. And I did it. And I do not regret it at all.
27 now.
My goal is 50 minds. And I know I'll supersede it because of the path I'm on. And I can't keep my mouth shut.
All right. Any other questions? Good.
What happens when they run out of mines, when they stop selling mines?
Yeah, so when they stop selling mines, because there is a limited amount, so there is 100,000 hash available, or 100 million hash available. So remember I told you the way you judge how powerful a mining rig is by the hash power, just like you judge an engine by their horsepower. Our mining rig collectively will be about 100 million hash. That's what we're selling. Once that is sold, there is no more. The rocket door is shut, and what you have is what you get. And you continue to mine that, but the affiliate model that we're talking about, these meetings, all this goes away because there's nothing left to sell. There's nothing left to talk about. What you have is what you got, and there's no more left. Now, I'm going to take a few more questions in a minute, but I want to go into a little deeper about something. You see, when I started doing pretty well with Texit Coin, and I should start the meeting with this. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. You never know who's in the crowd.
This is for entertainment.
But
purposes
in all seriousness, I cannot predict the future. I cannot tell you what to do with your money. I can only tell you what it's done for me. And there's a lot of other people in here who can tell you some pretty incredible stories as well. But this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't predict the future. Anyone that says that they can, I would recommend you steer away from. But what I can do is I can judge the past. And I can show you what it's done in the past. And I can tell you what I think personally what it will do in the future. But it is not financial advice. When I started making money with Texit Coin and doing very, very well with Texit Coin, I've been able to retire my wife, pay off almost $50,000 in debt, buy a new vehicle, all with Texit Coin. And that was without really putting on my social media and sharing it with other people and doing these dinners. I told my wife, I said, if I'm going to wrap my truck, if I'm going to put it on my social media, if I'm going to start sharing this with people, I have to meet Bobby Gray. I got to look him in his eyes. I got to shake his hand. I have to feel comfortable about this project before I share it with everyone. So I started looking for flights. There were no good flights. So me and my wife and my 2 kids, we loaded up in a vehicle and we drove 16 and a half hours to Texas. It's not an enjoyable experience. And I told my wife on the way there, I said, I hope I can get one dinner with Bobby. I want to sit down, one dinner, pick his brain, get to know the man behind the project. And I didn't get that dinner. I got 3 10-hour days with him. Took my kids to a theme park one day, took them to an arcade the next. We went to dinner all 3 nights. And I got to know the heart of the man behind the project. And I understood for the first time why, if someone came to him and offered him $1 million, why he would turn it down and say, just give me $27,000, because that didn't make any sense to me. Why would someone turn down money? And I realized it's because Bobby's intent, Bobby's heart, Bobby's goal in life is to create free, honest, true money uncorruptible money for peer-to-peer transactions. Truly money that is transparent and made for we the people. Now, when I was sitting there with Bobby, me and him were sitting in these massage chairs while the kids were playing, and I asked Bobby, I said, Bobby, where do you see this coin in a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years? He said, Mitchell, I wish everyone would stop talking about $16. Said, we launched the coin at 2 cents. The only goal I ever set, the very first goal I set, was to be at $16 per coin come February this year. He said, we're set to blow past that goal. And he said, if layer 2 goes the way I think it is going to go, and this project continues to grow the way it is growing right now, in a year and a half to 2 years, I see us between $500 and $1,000 a coin. Between 2 and 3 years, I see us somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 a coin. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can do some basic math and understand that that is incredibly life-changing money for a lot of people. And when you start seeing the vision yourself, when you start getting involved in Texit Coin and you see how life-altering it can be, I promise you won't be able to keep your mouth shut. And that's why this room is about 50-50, because there's so many people in here who have already experienced it and they can't keep their mouth shut. They want to bless other people by telling them about it. Any other questions? Go ahead, ma'am.
On November 8th, there's a meeting with Bobby in Tampa.
Go.
I still don't have an address of where, how, and
Okay, I'll get it to you then. November 8th, we have a corporate meeting in Tampa. Bobby's going to be there.
If you go to
corporate event.
eventbrite.com, you can get
Go ahead.
tickets for that.
I just want to make a comment. He played the Trump clip. He passed that into law back in July. Guys, we are heading into crypto in
Fast.
America faster than you can even imagine. Now's the time to get on, because you're going to be way too late if you don't get in. I've never seen a company this transparent who wants to teach you how to use it, who's willing to get on calls and showing you how to buy, how to sell, how to transfer it from me to you. The whole system is getting changed right now, and Texit Coin is giving us the easiest on-ramp into crypto as possible. The $1,000 alone is worth it just for the education to get yourself prepared.
Awesome, thank you. Good comment. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So, us being in Florida, I understand you only get one coin. If there's what's the Texit coin?
Yeah, one cold storage wallet.
So, hurricane, something that flies away, what happens?
Yeah, so, okay, so there's 3 ways to store crypto, right? You can purchase crypto on an exchange and you can choose to leave it there. Would not recommend it. You can go on your phone and type in Coinbase hack, and you can see that Coinbase is the most well-known, most secure crypto exchange in the world. And about once every 3 years, they get hacked for millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it's not like FDIC insured, right? You lose your money. And if you do get it back, they're going to give it back to you at the price you bought it at, not what the price that it's at. So if it goes up in value, you lose that money. So I don't recommend keeping it on exchange. It's the most dangerous place to keep your crypto. The second and the next best place is on a crypto wallet, a hot wallet like MetaMask or Edge Wallet is my favorite, Trust Wallet. There's a ton of really good ones out there. And that's the second best way to do it. The very best way to store your crypto is on a cold storage wallet, which is a physical device. This device acts just like your wallet in the back of your pocket that stores your credit cards and your cash, but instead it stores cryptocurrency. So really what's cool about this is Bobby Gray got his start in precious metals. He was a precious metals dealer. He dealt with gold and silver. And for the longest time he said, I hate crypto because it's not tangible. If I can't put my hands on it, it's not real. Well, he ran with a group of guys all in the precious metal space, and a handful of them went into the crypto space, and he said, you can have it, not interested. Years go by, and he says, well, that was a bad decision. Those guys are very, very wealthy. They're doing very well for themselves. And although my precious metals retained their wealth, they didn't grow my wealth, right? So he got into precious metal, or he got into cryptocurrency, and I love how he combined the two worlds, because if you know me, and I know a lot of you, we talk about silver and stuff. I love precious metals myself. And he combined those two worlds. He took a pure copper coin and he turned it into a crypto cold storage wallet. So now you can store your crypto on a pure copper coin and you can hold your assets in your hand, which is pretty incredible. So this is the best way to store your crypto. The only way anyone can ever get to your crypto is if they have this physical device. You don't have to worry about being hacked or anything like that, as long as you have this physical device. Now her question was, if a hurricane comes through or something crazy and I lose this device, what happens? Well, if you lose the wallet in your pocket right now, you lose whatever's in it, right? So if you lose this cold storage wallet, whatever is on it is gone forever. There's nothing anyone can do to help you. So it is both the most secure way to store your crypto, and it can be kind of scary, because if you lose this device, you lose your crypto. I recommend, if you're involved in Texit Coin, you're going to get one of those in the mail. As soon as you get it, you need to put it in a safe, lock it up, make sure it stays in there. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I don't pay taxes, so how would this?
Good job.
Nice.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
You don't pay any
You
taxes.
don't pay taxes on it, it's not decentralized. That's the best part. And I have something else to say.
Say that too loud.
There's also a way that if you want to avoid the banks, you can also get a credit card that's a crypto card that can draw from your Texit coin or can draw from one of your crypto wallets. So you don't have to put your money in the bank and then pay your bills. You can pay your bills. They actually have a bill pay app, and you can set and all the everything with your car payments, your insurance, all the stuff that's in there. You can pay your bills with your crypto. So we don't have to touch banks, and the banks are scared crapless. She tried to take money out, and they hung up on her. She had to change banks. He's got money sitting in an account. They won't release it. So the banks are scared crapless, and she held her money for 3 weeks. Okay. They're not excited about this crypto thing.
Right, so cryptocurrency is definitely a threat to the central banking system.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to probably be the very last person to leave, so if you have any questions, if you don't want to ask it in a public setting, feel free to come up and talk to me. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next Monday. Y'all have a blessed night.